Lafayette trails at the half, but here it's the first day of December, and usually this time of year, a time of giving and a busy time for the Senior Director of Annual and Leadership Giving, Chad Davis. For more, we have Olivia Mulvihill to talk with Chad Davis.
We have a very important guest here joining us on the halftime show. We have Chad Davis, who is the Senior Director of Annual and Leadership Giving. Chad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Olivia, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And you guys have just wrapped up a very successful campaign, the Bring the Roar campaign. And for those watching that aren't familiar with it, would you care to explain exactly what the goal of the Bring the Roar campaign was?
Absolutely. So this was the third year that Lafayette's done this Bring the Roar Challenge. It's really about bringing the Lafayette community together to make gifts to the college, supporting whatever is meaningful to you, annual fund, financial aid, athletics, and really excited. This year we crushed our goal actually, finishing with 2,352 donors as a collective community, and that's alumni, parents, students, family, faculty, staff who all came together, and that's really exciting for the college community.
Now, going into the whole Bring the Roar campaign, when you think about it, before you start off the campaign, what are your office's main priorities in order to get donors?
So one of the things we really focus on is participation overall, and so we want to think about how do we engage alumni, all alumni of all ages, students, faculty, really bringing the community together. And so we think about how can we make that fun, how can we make that engaging for them. So one of the things we did this year was actually had an athletics competition as well. Each team was put into one of 4 divisions. We had an anonymous donor put forth some money to the winner of each division, and we had the sports really rallied behind that. We had women's volleyball was our overall champion, but you could really feel the momentum and the energy from all the athletic teams getting behind and participating in this year's challenge.
You mentioned how successful this year's campaign was. What do you think was the main factor of success going into it?
You know what, we had a terrific volunteer base for us this year. We had around 100 volunteers, including coaches, but volunteers from all over the country who were out there on social media, sending emails, phone calls, and they attributed about 900 of our gifts just from our volunteer efforts as well. So we would not have been successful without the great work of our volunteers here at Lafayette.
And you mentioned how this is the 3rd year of the Bring the Roar campaign. In the near future, are there any different types of campaigns that your office is thinking of putting forward?
Yeah, so Lafayette's actually done a couple of these challenges. Actually, before the Bring the Roar for the last 3 years, there was actually a giving competition versus Lehigh. For 6 years prior to that, Lafayette continued to move forward with Bring the Roar. And then this March, we'll actually have our annual Bring the Best, which is all about supporting the President's Challenge for financial aid. And then I'm sure we'll continue the great momentum of Bring the Roar again in November of next year.
We talked before the interview about how you are a Lehigh Valley native. How important do you think that is to kind of be familiar with this whole College Hill community in trying to get donors?
Very. I think it's important to be a part of the community. That's one of the things that really excites me about being here at Lafayette, is that it really is a community here at College Hill, but also within the entire Lehigh Valley. And I think being able to have that background, being a part of the community actively, is a really important factor in that.
In the spring, what are your expectations for the next challenge?
All about energy, excitement, and allowing people the opportunity to support financial aid, which is so critical here at the college, but also whatever is also passionate for them. Giving back to the college really makes a difference and an immediate impact for our students.
All right, thanks so much, Chad, for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Olivia. Appreciate it. Go Pards.
And it's been a great time here on College Hill as far as athletics and academics go. We talked Bring the Roar was very successful, and you can learn more about it by going to bringtheroar.lafayette.edu. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you very much. Obviously, great stuff from both Olivia and Chad. We will head off to one more break. When we come back, we'll have second half action. You're watching the Lafayette Sports Network presented by the Patriot League Network on Stadium.